Freedom Publishing House, the leading publisher in academic materials across the globe.
IELTS Target 9. Published by Freedom Publishing House and Freedom Academy Press 2024. This recording is a copyright. Test 5. This is the IELTS listening test by Target 9. You will hear a number of different recordings and you will have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings would be played once only. The test is in 4 parts. At the end of the test, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Now turn to part 1. You will hear a recording about a man calling to book an appointment at a healthcare center. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 10. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 10.
Hello. Is it Karon's Health Lab?
Yes. How can I help you?
I am calling to book an appointment.
What type of appointment?
I wish to arrange a time for a health checkup.
What is your name and what type of health checkup are you looking for?
My name is John. And I would like to undergo a comprehensive health examination that includes laboratory reports.
For that, I need to know some details about you. Tell me your age, any health problems you are facing, and your preferred date of appointment.
My age is 42. From past few days, I am not feeling well. I'm experiencing a significant heaviness in my chest, and I'm having difficulty in breathing.
Oh. And what date you are looking to get your tests done?
Today is 20th, so I would like to take the appointment for tomorrow, that is the 21st of April. Is it available?
Wait a second. I will just check it right now. Yes. It is available for tomorrow. But you must come in the second half of the day. The lab opens at 3 p.m. after lunch, so I am fixing your appointment at 4 p.m. Are you comfortable with it?
Can you make it a bit early? Let's say 2 p.m.
I am really sorry. We don't have a slot at 2 p.m. The slot at 3 p.m. might be available. Let me check. Oh no. It is not available. So, shall I book it for 4 p.m.?
Go ahead. Do I need to bring anything with me? And what are the charges for the full body checkup?
Yes. You are required to present any files regarding your past medical history for the last 1 year.
And what about the charges for the tests?
There are few packages that you can choose from. If you wish to go for the full body checkup, then you need to pay $40.
Okay. Is the doctor's session included in this fee?
No. If you also want to consult a doctor for your reports, then it would be 40 plus 40. Total, $80. So, do you want the doctor's consultation as well?
No. For now I would only stick to the full body checkup.
Okay. So let me just book your appointment.
Thanks. There's one more thing I need to ask. How much time it takes to get the results?
For a normal report it takes about 2 to 3 days. Sometimes 4. But for the full body checkup, it takes 5 days to get the results.
Where will I get my reports? Do I need to collect them from the lab?
Yes. You can collect the printed reports from the lab. But if you can't come, then we can email the reports for you. We can also post it to your residential address.
Oh, that's great. I am usually busy at office, and I believe that it is silly to waste paper on delivering reports via print, so I would like to have my reports on my email.
Okay. Once your reports are generated, we will inform you on phone and will also email them to you. So, I have booked your appointment for tomorrow. The tests will take about 45 minutes. Sometimes it takes 60 minutes as well. And you also need to do the registration. So, you must come at least 30 minutes before the appointment.
Okay. I will be there on time. Bye.
That is the end of part 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers to part 1. Part 2. You will hear a talk about an agricultural and animal farm. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 14. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 14.
Welcome to Humpy Farm, an open-air museum providing a glimpse into agriculture and rural life in the English countryside during the late 18th century. The setting reflects a typical farm from that era, and all the staff, including myself, are attired in clothing from that period. Before we proceed, let me offer some advice and safety guidelines. Given that it's a functioning farm, kindly refrain from disturbing or harming the animals and birds. We house a variety of breeds, some of which are currently considered quite rare. And do stay at a safe distance from the machines. Some of them have sharp points, which can be pretty dangerous, so please don't touch them. We don't want any accidents, do we? The ground is very uneven, and you might slip if you're wearing slippers or heels, so I'm glad to see you're all wearing proper shoes, or even laced shoes. We always advise people to do that. Now, children of all ages are very welcome here, and usually even very young children love the ducks and lambs, so do bring them along next time you come. I don't think any of you have brought pets with you, but in case you have, I'm afraid they'll have to stay in the car park, unless they're guide dogs. I'm sure you'll understand that they cause a lot of problems on a farm.
Before you hear rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 15 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 15 to 20.
Now let me give you some idea of the blueprint of the farm. The building where you bought your tickets is the shed area, immediately to your right, and we're now at the beginning of the main path to the farmland. Of course, the parking area is on your left. The statue you can see in the parking in the corner, beside the main path, is a traditional figure for keeping the farm's history alive. But our statue is a permanent sculpture. It's taller than a human being, so you can see it from quite a distance. If you look in front of you, you'll witness the bird area. It's opposite the shed area, beside the side path that branches off to the right just over there. The bird area is made of a huge cage, which allows people to see the variety of birds without interfering with their habitat. Now, can you see the bridge crossing the water pond further up the main path? If you are feeling hungry and want to go to the canteen, go towards the bridge and turn right just before it. Walk along the side path and the canteen is on the first turn you come to. The building was originally the residence of the staff, and it's well over 100 years old. As you may know, we can run skills workshops here, where you can learn traditional crafts like carpentry work and rope making. You can see examples of the work, and talk to someone about the courses, in the barn house. If you take the side path to the right, here, just by the shed area, you'll come to the barn house, just where the path first bends. Now I mustn't forget to tell you about enjoying picnics, as I can see some of you have brought your lunch with you. You can picnic in the field, though do clear up behind you, of course. Or if you'd prefer a picnic garden, there's one near the machine area. Just after you cross the bridge, there's a picnic spot on the right. And the last thing to mention is Humpy House itself. You can proceed by crossing the bridge, and then follow the nature trail through the field on the left side of the machine area, and besides the forest area. This path leads to the house, offering a delightful view that's perfect for capturing in photographs. However, please note that, being a private residence, access to the interior is not permitted. Now, if you're prepared, we can commence our tour of the farm.
That is the end of part 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers to part 2. Part 3. You will hear a conversation between Mike and Kate, discussing their upcoming lecture about Walrus. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 30. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 30.
Hello, Kate. So, what's your plan for the project this week?
I haven't really decided which animal to pick for the lecture. Have you selected it yet?
Oh yes. Initially, I was looking for an animal that was unique. Because I didn't want to choose an animal that everyone else has for the project. So, I browsed through the internet and found Walrus. I instantly chose it because firstly it is a rare animal, and very few people know about it. Moreover, not many students will pick this animal for their lecture, so it will make my topic unique.
That's wonderful. I haven't even heard about this animal. So, if you have some time, I would like to hear some information about this animal.
All right. So, I'll start with its appearance and basics. The walrus is a bulky flippered marine creature with an erratic distribution about the North Pole in the Arctic Ocean and subarctic oceans of the Northern Hemisphere. Walrus is subdivided into two subspecies, the Atlantic walrus which exists in the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific walrus which lives in the Pacific Ocean. Although the biological characteristics of old and young walrus is quite similar, but the adult walrus is clearly distinguished by swollen tusks and their substantial bulk. Adult males in the Pacific can weigh more than 2,000 kilograms and, among pinnips, are exceeded in size only by the two species of elephant seals. Walruses are usually found in shallow waters above the continental shelves, spending significant amounts of their lives on the sea ice looking for benthic bivalve mollusks to eat. Walruses have relatively long life expectancy and are social animals. They are keystone species in the Arctic marine regions.
I am sorry to interrupt, but I must say that you've got your topic nicely covered. Great going. Please continue.
Well, thank you. So, as far as their role in the traditions of Arctic societies is concerned, they have played a crucial role. The Arctic societies have hunted the walrus for its meat, fat, skin, tusks, and bone. During the 19th century and the early 20th century, walruses were extensively hunted and killed for their blubber, walrus ivory, and meat. The number of walruses dropped rapidly all around the Arctic region. There has been an increase in the walruses' population since then, though the populations of Atlantic and Laptive walruses remain patchy, compared with the time before human penetration. Walruses like regions with shallow water and they feed mainly on the seabed. They are not particularly deep divers compared to other pinnips. They can't dive more than 80 meters. They can break underwater for around 30 minutes.
What about their diet? And how do they get their food? Do they hunt? I am curious to know about that.
Well, the walrus has an assorted and opportunistic diet, feeding on more than 60 species of marine creatures, including shrimp, crabs, tube worms, soft corals, tunicates, sea cucumbers, various mollusks, and even parts of other pinnips. Though it favors benthic bivalve mollusks, particularly clams, for which it feeds by chewing along the sea bottom, probing, and identifying prey with its sensitive vibrissae and clearing the foggy bottoms with jumbos of water and active flipper movements. European and American sealers and whalers heavily exploited the walrus in the 18th and 19th centuries, leading to the near extinction of the Atlantic subspecies. Commercial walrus slaughter is now outlawed through its range, though Chukchi, Yupik, and Inuit people can kill tiny number towards the end of each summer. Yes, I repeat, commercial slaughter is now banned.
Why do the locals hunt walrus? Is their meat, or any part of the body useful to them?
Yes. Traditional hunters used all parts of the walrus. Even now, meat is preserved and used in winters as the major source of food. Tusks and bone were previously used for making tools, as well as material for handicrafts. The oil was rendered for warmth and light, the strong hair made rope and house, and the intestines and gut linings made waterproof parkas. While some of these uses have faded with access to alternative technologies, walrus meat remains an important part of local diets, and tusk carving and engraving persist as a vital art form. Conferring to Adolf Erik Nordenskiöld, old European hunters and Arctic explorers instituted walrus meat not predominantly tasty, and only ate it in case of necessity. However, walrus tongue was a delicacy.
That's interesting information. I am impressed with your preparation. I would also like to know about walruses' population, distribution, and their future.
I do not have enough information on that yet. But I have researched that the impact of global changing temperatures is one of the major causes of concern. The extent and thickness of the pack ice has reached unusually low levels in recent times. The walrus depends on this ice while giving birth. Thinner pack ice over the Bering Sea has shortened the amount of resting habitat adjoining ideal feeding grounds. This more widely separates lactating females from their calves, increasing nutritional stress for the young and lower reproductive rates. Reduction in the coastal sea ice has also led to an increase in stampeding deaths of the walrus. However, it is very hard to make predictions about the population trends due to insufficient climatic data.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for enlightening me on this wonderful aquatic mammal.
I hope you like my preparation, but now I must go to my lecture. Bye.
That is the end of part 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers to Part 3. Part 4. You will hear the speaker explaining the different sections of the University of Oxford. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the University of Oxford. I am pleased to inform you that we will be celebrating our anniversary this month. But before we can proceed with the university tour, I would like to take your 10 minutes to describe the history and information regarding this great university. Before I proceed with the talk, I request all of you to switch off your mobile phones or keep your devices on silent mode. The University of Oxford is a scholastic research university in Oxford, England. There is mark of teaching as early as 1096, making it the oldest university in the English-speaking world and the world's second oldest university, in unceasing operation. It grew quickly in popularity from 1167, when Henry II barred English students from joining the University of Paris. After disagreements between students and Oxford townsfolk in 1209, some scholars fled northeast to Cambridge, where they recognized what became the University of Cambridge. The two ancient universities are often jointly called Oxbridge. The history and effect of the University of Oxford has made it one of the most admired universities in the world. The university is made up of 39 constituent colleges and a range of academic departments, which are organized into 4 divisions. All the colleges are self-governing institutions within the university, each governing its own membership and with its own internal structure and activities. It does not have a main campus, and its buildings and facilities are dispersed throughout the city centre. Undergraduate teaching at Oxford is organized around weekly tutorials at the colleges and halls, supported by classes, lectures, seminars, and laboratory work provided by university faculties and departments. Some postgraduate teaching comprises tutorials organized by faculties and departments. It functions as the world's oldest university museum, as well as the largest university press in the world and the largest academic library system nationwide. In the fiscal year ending the 31st of July 2019, the university had a total income of over £2 billion, of which £624 million was from research grants and contracts. Another £40 million came from the government and a few £1 million from donations. The university is ranked among the best higher learning institutions by most international and major national league tables. Oxford has cultured a wide range of notable graduates, including 28 Prime Ministers of the United Kingdom and many heads of state and government around the world. As of November 2019, 72 Nobel Prize laureates, 3 Fields medalists, and 6 Turing Award winners have studied, worked, or held visiting fellowships at the University of Oxford, while its alumni have won 160 Olympic medals. Oxford is the home of plentiful scholarships, including the Rhodes Scholarship, one of the oldest international graduate scholarship programs. The University of Oxford has no acknowledged foundation date. Teaching at Oxford existed in some form as early as 1096, but it is uncertain when a university came into being. It raised rapidly from 1167, when English students returned from the University of Paris. The historian Gerald of Wales lectured to such scholars in 1188, and the first recognized foreign scholar, Emo of Friesland, arrived in 1190. The head of the university had the title of Chancellor from at least 1201, and the masters were recognized as universities, or corporations, in 1231. The university was approved, through a royal charter in 1248, during the reign of King Henry III. In 1334, an effort by some displeased Oxford scholars to start a new university at Stamford, Lincolnshire, was congested by the universities of Oxford and Cambridge, pleading King Edward III. Afterward, until the 1820s, no new universities were allowed to be founded in England, even in London. Thus, Oxford and Cambridge had a duopoly, which was rare in large Western European countries. Oxford maintains several museums and galleries, open for free to the public. The Ashmolean Museum, founded in 1683, is the oldest museum in the UK, and the oldest university museum in the world. It holds significant assemblages of art and archaeology, including works by Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Turner, and Picasso, as well as treasures such as the Scorpion Mace Head, the Paean Marble and the Alfred Jewel. It also contains the Messiah, a pristine Stradivarius violin, regarded by some as one of the finest examples in existence. I hope this is sufficient information. For more information, we will be providing you with these leaflets before the tour. So, without wasting any time, let's start with the tour.
That is the end of part 4 and the listening test. You now have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet.